Hey everybody, what's up? This is Ryan from the Cutting Room Floor Brewery, and I'm out here on this beautiful autumn morning brewing up a especially weird eccentric beer. I hope you're digging the stash. I went to a Halloween party last night as Gene Wilder from Young Frankenstein, so yeah, that was pretty awesome, and I think I pulled it off. But yeah, I'm here. I'm brewing a brand new beer. It's a Fallen Leaf Autumn Ale. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not joking. I am actually using these fallen leaves. They smell delicious. So yeah, I am actually doing a beer with tree leaves. I did a couple things. I sourced them from places around the neighborhood, and I picked some variety. I did some tests, experiments with some different leaves, made some teas out of them, and I think most of the best ones were maple and birch or beech, about a combination of those three. But yeah, it turned out really well, and so I'm gonna make a autumn ale with it. So it's an amber, but I'm gonna use 3 different ingredients that are autumn. I'm gonna use tree leaves, and I'm gonna use those 2 different ways. I'm going to steep them in my hot liquor for my mash, so try to get all those aromas and flavors in the mash. And then once I'm done with the mash, I'm also going to steep the leaves in the boil as well. And 2 other things I'm gonna use is I'm actually gonna use some acorn flour in the mash. I found that on Amazon from an Asian market, so it tastes pretty interesting, gives a nice nutty flavor. And I'm also using about 2.5 pounds of crushed hazelnuts. And I might have a secret ingredient, I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned. So that's what I'm doing. Yep, this is not a joke. Tree leaf beer. I don't know if anybody else has tried that. I know I've heard tree bark, tree sap, but maybe tree leaves. I'm not really familiar if anybody's done that. So who knows? I might be pioneering something, maybe not. But it's cool. It's going to be a really interesting beer. So a little bit of the backstory. Actually, how I came up with this idea was I was walking around outside in the neighborhood, and we just had our first snow in October. So a bunch of the leaves had already fallen, and then they got wet from the snow, and the snow like melted like the next day, so they were giving off this aroma, this like earthy herbal tea smell. And I was like, dude, if I can figure out how to use these in a beer, that's gonna be awesome. So what I'm hoping from this beer is you're gonna smell it, you're gonna drink it, and it's just gonna like boom, fall in your face, just autumn in your face. And that's what I'm hoping. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so my hot liquor is heating up. I'm not talking about real liquor. When I'm talking about hot liquor in the brewing process, I'm talking about water. So I am heating up my water for my mash. So I have to get the water pretty hot for a mash out, which I will hold that in my hot liquor tank, and then I have to heat the rest of the water up to a certain temperature, and then throw all my grains in there along with any adjuncts. And what that does is there's certain enzymes in the barley that once you hit certain temperatures, they start to break down starches into sugars, and that's how you get beer. So that's what the mashing process basically is. So while I'm going to do a normal mash today, I'm also gonna do, like I said, gonna throw these leaves in here. So I got just a nice nylon mesh bag full of leaves, and it smells pretty awesome. So I'm gonna drop this in here, and I'm gonna let it steep like a tea. And what that's gonna do is I'm gonna try to extract the aroma and flavor out of the actual tree leaves, and then I'm gonna use that kind of tea, is what I would call it, in my mash. So hopefully that will just infuse the wort with just all this autumn goodness. So let's drop it in there, get it in there. So yeah, I'm not quite up to temperature yet, but I want to get these in here early so I can kind of start to extract all that flavor out of the leaves, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. We got the hot liquor up to temp. I'm just gonna pull off a little off the tap just to see what it tastes like, and before I transfer it to my hot liquor tank. So, oh my god, I wish you could smell this. It smells really good. Oh yeah, it's really earthy and, well, yeah, like I said, herbal tea kind of smell to it. It's pretty hot, so I probably shouldn't drink this till it cools down, but the color is slightly, there's a little tint to it, but it looks like a very thin tea, so I might have to add some more leaves. But let's get this transferred and then we'll get on to the mash. Cool. We're at temp for the mash, and man, I really wish you could, it just smells awesome. So yeah, I am ready to mash now. So I'm shooting for about 152 degrees for the mash for about 60 minutes. So I already took the leaves out because I don't want them to get mixed in with the grain and get all nasty. So let's pour the grain in. Beautiful. So got that going. Let's give it a little bit of mix. Get it nice and mashed in. We're getting foam right off the bat. That's a good sign that we're at temp. The enzymes are gonna start converting the starch to sugar. So we got that. And now I'm going to add the Acorn flour. So like, it's really good. Like, I would bake with this. Like, I can totally see using this for cakes and stuff. It's yeah, it's got this nice nutty flavor, and like, yeah, it's a little starchy, but it's supposed to be. But yeah, I dig it. So, and some people would be like, oh no, don't do that. You're gonna, you're gonna cloud up your mash with all this flour. But honestly, I'm gonna be recirculating this the entire time, so I'm not worried about getting clear wort. I know that's gonna happen for me, so yeah, that doesn't concern me too much. So just gonna mix that in, and plus with the grain, it'll make the grain bed will make a nice filter. So once I start recirculating, I can clear this up real quick. So it's a little clumpy, but it's kind of be expected. So yeah. All right, we're gonna give that a good 60 minutes to mash, and then we will move to the boil. Since I got some time on my hands, waiting for the mash to finish, I'm going to start cracking these hazelnuts for the boil. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but for one thing, I'm telling you right now, I cannot scale this beer like this, because cracking 2+ pounds of hazelnuts is a lot of work. And whoever said beer making is easy is full of crap, because it's not, especially when you're doing like little experimental things like this. So if this does turn out really well and I gotta scale it, it's gonna be hard. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to figure out either some kind of hazelnut paste, or if they make something like that, or use an extract, because, well, I like using, like, the fresh hazelnuts. I just don't know if it's gonna be scalable at all, but, or I'm just gonna have to pay people to do this for hours on end once I do bigger batches. So, but, or maybe I could hire Willy Wonka's squirrels in the movie to do this for me. But yeah, so cracking some hazelnuts. I'm gonna throw these in the boil along with the leaves and everything else. So, and I'm gonna use the nut and the husk because since I'm not eating these, I'm just using them for flavor. I think it's fine. So yeah, fun times. This is the life of a brewer. So I'll see you in a bit. Moving on to the sparge. Not gonna lie, my mash is a little stuck thanks to the flour, but I'm working with the sparge to kind of work through it, so it's gonna go a little slower than I'd hoped, but yeah, it's good. So yep, I'm gonna have to remember next time that yeah, when you use flour, don't add it right away. Wait till you get your grain bed established and then put the flour in so it doesn't gunk up your mash when you go to sparge. But it's working, so, and then I got a fresh new bag of leaves in here that are gonna go through the entire boil process, so hopefully that's gonna work out great for us. Okay, so now we got the boil going, and I'm going to add the hazelnuts the entire duration of the boil. And don't hate me for this, but I don't have any mesh bags left over, so I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in the pot. I know that's gonna make a huge mess, but I don't really have a choice at this point. So, all right, here we go. 2 pounds of hazelnuts going in a boil. Oh yeah. Yep, it's gonna make one big old mess, but it's gonna taste good. So just get this going, and I'm just praying to God that it doesn't clog up my pumps when I go to rack this through the fermenter. Okay, so here we are at the end of another successful brew day. So I'm just gonna pull a little of the wort off for so I can do a hydrometer test. So we can get a specific gravity reading on that, and away we go. So I'm gonna let this sit and cool off, and then yep, and then we're gonna take a taste and we're gonna find out what happened. All right. Okay, so here we are. Finally finished with the brew day. It was a long one because a lot of extra steps that I don't normally have to take when I make beer, but we got the autumn ale ready for a taste test. So I did a gravity check and I hit it right on the nose, 1.062, so it should be about a good 6.5 ABV beer. So that's exactly what I was looking for. So let's take a test. It smells awesome. Wow. Huh. That is interesting. So I can taste the tree leaves slightly, but the malt, it's an amber, so the malt, it's supposed to be pretty malt heavy, so the malt's kind of coming to the forefront along with the hops. I can kind of smell it. I can get the hazelnut too. So, man, it's good. It's really good. It's not what I expected, but it's good. So, we'll see how fermentation goes. Hopefully fermentation kicks off, does great, and maybe it'll, who knows what it might do to the flavor profile. And while I was brewing, I was like, if the tree leaf kind of flavor or aroma doesn't really come through, I'm gonna save some of this that tea I made that I steeped in the beginning. So I had like a gallon left over. So I just bottled that, and I'm gonna put it in the fridge and keep it and see after fermentation, I might have to do some throw it in the secondary to kind of make that flavor pop. So we'll see how that goes. But I gotta tell you, this is a solid beer so far. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do a few more of these. I might change the format up a little bit, but if you liked it and you want to see more of how I brew and the kind of the behind the scenes process, let me know. Comment, like it, share it, and we're gonna keep doing them and see how this goes. So thank you again for watching, and keep on brewing.